Okay. I think we're live. There's lots of audio problems, but we're gonna have to wait for this automatic. There's like a 10-second delay, so we are live. Okay. Is my audio okay? Somebody tell me if my audio is okay, because I'm not gonna listen to it on my phone and then have it play on again here. But hi. First stream since who knows how long. Elevation came out like a month ago, and we're finally here. We've been absent long enough that we've gotten complaints on Discord, so here I am. I have Fa with me.
Hello.
Okay, perfect. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, okay. Well, we've been traveling a lot. I was just with her in Pittsburgh for graduation. My graduation is in 3 days, and then we're both gonna start working. She's gotten a job in San Francisco, in the San Francisco area.
In the Bay Area? Yeah.
Uh-oh. The audio just cut out.
Oh no.
Okay. It seems okay for me. We're gonna keep going. But keep me updated. So yeah, got a job in the Bay Area. I've got a job in Abbotsford in the Vancouver area. I'm gonna be doing a online professional legal training course for the next 2 months, starting tomorrow. So we'll see if I have time. I don't know. I'm hopeful that I will, but it seems like there's mixed reviews as to how busy I'll be. I think in about a month's time, I might go live in San Mateo with her, so you might see us stream live in person together instead of just seeing my face, because I don't know how to put a double face up. But anyways, we'll deal with that next month, when maybe I'll stream from San Francisco. Oh yeah, okay. So people were talking about like the Europe trip that I was on with Brandon and a bunch of other people. I imagine Brandon talked a lot about that already. Fa, did you get a chance to listen to Aksu and Brandon's podcast?
Yes, I did. Indeed.
Okay, and?
It's like being in a Discord call with them.
Okay, very
There's
good.
a lot of hot takes.
Did they talk about the trip enough that I don't have to do it here?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, so
There was more talk about like bagels and stuff.
okay. Do you think they're gonna do it later?
No.
Okay.
Just give like the 15-second rundown of the trip and then we can move on.
Well, okay. So we went to, like me and Peter H and Brandon and a couple other Brandon non-Netrunner friends went to Frankfurt, and we drove down to Turin. We joined the Turin district, and then Bridgman was there, Aksu was there, Augustus, Ruben Peters, Leopold, and I've started naming people, so now I run the risk of embarrassing myself or forgetting somebody. Armin was there. Well, all the Turin locals were there, who are all very good and very, very nice people. And, ooh, is that it? Might be it. Maybe there's more. But yeah, we were in Turin for 5 days, went to Munich for a day, went to Hanover for 3 days. Restaurator was supposed to be there. He got sick, so he didn't come. I did a bunch of driving in Europe, got 2 parking tickets and a speeding ticket, which I will have to deal with. And then
I didn't hear this part.
Yup. And then went to Malmo to live with Finn for a couple days, and then went across to the UK. Went to the Norwich release party right when the set came out. Yeah, we've just kind of been like traveling around. Went to Liverpool when Liverpool won the league, and then down to Reading Played the Deep Dive Sable and the Nebula, which was just like very simple, didn't want to think too much in every respect type of decks. Yeah, and then I came back, and I've just been traveling around. This is the first day, like I have not touched a laptop or a mouse. Like this mouse right here is like feels so nice in my hands because it has not been in my hands for more than a month. But yeah, okay. Enough of that. We're here to do some Netrunner. And oh, wait, one more thing. I've started coaching. This was something that somebody reached out to me about maybe 2 weeks ago, and it was something that I've always wanted to do, and I just never like had the time. I mean, maybe I still don't now, but I never really like had enough time to be like, hey, this is something I'm going to do. So, but I might as well do it now because I had somebody reach out to me, and I've kind of started doing it now, just with that one person. But it is something that I'll open up to everybody else just to let y'all know that that's something I'm doing. So really what that means is if you're interested in having like a one-on-one Netrunner coach, I know that some other people have done that in the past, and I am open to doing that, basically. So really what that's going to look like is if you are interested, if you're really just like interested in getting better at the game, the best and fastest way to do it is to have somebody just kind of like watch your games, not necessarily live games. I think the most efficient use of time is to do it through replay reviews. And yeah, just having somebody like kind of walk through your games and identify the different lines that could be possible, different things that you could be thinking about, and just to kind of like identify where certain mistakes might be happening, because that's something that's really hard to do in Netrunner. So yeah, it's really useful to have somebody teaching you if you're really, really interested in getting better. So yeah, I think at the very start, I'll kind of just like talk you through like to give myself an understanding of where you are and your experience in the game and kind of what your goals are and what you want to do. And it doesn't have to be like general coaching. Like you could be like, I really want to play this deck and I really want to make this deck as best as it could be. Let's work on it. And we can do that too. But I think the general structure of like how I like to teach is just like kind of talking through your experience and understanding where you are and what you need to work on. And then just kind of like playing some games. If you want to play live, we can do that. But I think the most efficient use of time is to just like have some replays, go through replays. And there's no such thing as a good or bad replay, because I can glean a lot of stuff from any replay. So we'll just do that and kind of just like see progression as you review the replays and give you pointers as to what to work on and things to watch out for. Did I miss anything, Fa?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and if you're interested in like doing that and then also being recorded as a video, and I could also like post it as a video, I think that'll also be something that a lot of people seem to be interested in. So there's a small announcement there. I'll probably repeat it again in a short, just so that it's in a more obvious area instead of just a random stream on a Monday. But yeah. Okay, should we talk about the Showdown stuff?
Elevation. Yep.
We talk about elevation, yes. So I mean, there hasn't been a ton of time that I've spent just like looking through elevation and understanding what is out there. I have like a couple deck ideas that I haven't been able to play really. I am in the async league, and round 1 I'm up against Jai in the first week, and I've just messaged him a couple hours ago trying to figure out a time, because I haven't had a computer for like the last month, so I've only been able to play Netrunner on my iPad, which means I can't click on archives or the heap. So we've just been playing like decks that don't require me to do that, so it's like Red Crim and not much else. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the showdown. Do you wanna?
Mhm.
How you wanna do this?
Um, well, let's see. I don't know. We can go through like kind of by faction, maybe. Um, like in terms of the top cut decks. Or we could do it by like from like top placements to um like bottom placements or the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Um. Okay, so let's see. We have um. So we have deck list information from first to 18. Well, it's, I guess the top 16 plus the two.
16.
Right, the two people who dropped out, we don't have. I mean, we could just like go from top to bottom, just in
Mhm.
order of the Swiss standings, just because that's easiest.
Easiest. That sounds good.
Okay. What do we have? I've not. This is the first time I've looked at any of this, by the way. I've been like, I think I have like a somewhat of an idea of what's going on, um, and like in terms of like decks that are out there. Um, yeah. So I'm not completely new, but I am. This is the first time looking at most of these decks, especially these ones in particular. Oh, also my audio is gonna be where it is. I'm gonna try to balance the two people's audio, like mine and Fa's audio, but my audio is not gonna be able to go up because I can't plug in my mic because we had audio problems with that. So we're gonna have to work with this for now. Mm, okay. So Ayuko.
So, Ayuko.
Um,
Seems
Fuji.
like a pretty standard Ayuko list. I don't have strong opinions on this.
Mm-hmm. For Genesis Fuji,
Um,
Bite. Not all Ayukos are playing Bite.
yeah.
Uh oh, there's Plutus.
Oh yes, that's significant. You're
Anemone.
Plutusing with the greasing the palm and 3 petty caches to try and fast advance is the idea. Oh, and 3 peer reviews.
Okay, so
Yes.
there's no. Yeah, no. Okay, so this is very different from what I've been seeing. There's no bladderworts in here. This deck is
Mhm.
icing all their stuff. Plutus. Is there other fast advance capabilities? No. Okay, so the petty cache peer review and the greasing is going to enable a 3-1 or 3-2 fast advance with Plutus. So Plutus has to be rezzed and on the board. Okay. It doesn't like this doesn't seem quite there if the Regenesis plan. Because what? Because the Fuji needs to be in the bin at the start of the turn, which means we can res the Plutus and put the Fuji in the bin.
But we can't AU because then you can't reach Genesis.
Right. So
Wait,
okay. So we
yeah,
have to. So we have
yeah,
to
yeah.
Plutus the. So the most tricksy way of doing this is you Plutus the Fuji into the bin, which has always been a thing,
Mhm.
and then you have to use the Plutus to RFG a greasing, a peer review, or a petty cache, and then score a Regenesis out of hand.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This is. It's fine. Chris is in the chat saying, "Do y'all want the Excel sheet?" Sure. It's kind of the same thing. So this is probably fine, but I guess send it. And we see what that looks like. Plutus put stuff face up in the bin. Oh, true. That's right. Oh my god. Okay, I've definitely looked at this.
Oh,
I've looked at this so many times, and I've Eli that like Plutus puts it face up has been like I've realized that probably 3 times already, where like I thought it worked and now I've been pointed out that it doesn't. So right, okay, so I knew this wasn't as good as I thought it was. Okay, right, Plutus puts stuff face up, so you have to like have the Fuji face down in the bin already, which seems like a bad PE deck from last card pool.
Yeah, I think the complication is like a lot with AU code decks, you don't know which deck it is. So I could see it like here we see it being King of Swiss. So I could see it like winning games because of that. But also we see like in the tournament itself, it was the corp dropped games much more so than the runner, which went 4-0.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. So we've got the
Phoenix.
The
Rio.
We've got a Phoenix, a Rio deck. Is not playing Détente. I saw a lot of ones playing Détente at the start of the meta. I mean, I guess I haven't really. Rio is a little hard to understand for me. There's a ton of cards in this deck. Okay, maybe we do actually want this.
This
spreadsheet, because then I can actually like know how many cards are in here, because I assume that's in the spreadsheet.
It's in Messenger apparently.
Chris, can you send it to me on Discord? Just because I don't want to open Messenger on my old laptop, because it's gonna like spam me with notifications if I do that. Can I let you? Do you have the chat open?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Just to make sure that you can follow along as well. Okay, I need to go to the bathroom because I've been drinking iced tea. So I'm going to leave you for 5 seconds.
To entertain
the people. Exactly. Okay, I'll be back.
Yeah. So, how is everyone doing? I think, okay, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Miathea says, I think Rio's ID is good enough as long as Banker is legal and you don't need to put in much more effort. Yeah. Hello, Chris. I could see that being true. It seems like the effect is like not as strong as some of the other ones out there, but I might just be more used to playing like standard like reg runners. Hi, you're back.
Hi. You're alive?
I am. Yes.
Very good.
I gave some questionable takes on Rio, but
okay,
you're back.
Which
is it seems okay, but not good enough. Which is probably ice code at this point.
Okay, let's see. Oh, that's the wrong link. How do I copy link?
Okay, so I guess the other thought I have about Rio is it feels like unless you have things that are pressuring like the corp to actually res ice, particularly on centrals, like just bank on its own feels like it shouldn't be enough because the corp can just not res the first piece of ice and then res 2 pieces of ice to stop the run from being successful. Is the other thing on my mind. Though like by that point, like if a corp can get 2 ice on like centrals, then maybe they've slowed down enough that you have like that you're just so far ahead like in getting set up. But yeah.
Okay, I was sent an Excel sheet and my computer tries trying to open Excel, which is not going to show up on stream. So I think it has to be a Google sheet. But it's fine. We'll just work with what we got here. Mather says, I think Rio's idea is good enough. As long as Bankar is legal, you don't need to put much more effort. Um, I mean, okay, so Bankar obviously is really good with Rio. Um, I guess so far what I've seen is that it's very easy to play, because you just like have a bunch of aggro pressure cards, and then you just throw them at the corp, and then you like trash some cards, sabotage some cards, get some accesses, and then you can walk into wins, because you're drawing your cards and throwing them at the corp. And I guess like whether that's consistent enough for me is something that I would have to try. Um, but like I doubt that it is, because I think if something like that is consistent enough for me, then it's like too consistent. Because you shouldn't be able to take your runner deck and throw it at the corp and consistently win games. That's what I feel about the ID. Like I think the ID is very much like I'm just gonna go really aggressive. Um, I don't know. Maybe there's probably more to it.
Mhm.
But yeah. So I guess like so far without having played Rio, it's a pile of cards that I don't really understand. In terms of like the differences in deck construction is not something that I understand quite yet. Like whether I want two paladins, or like whether it's correct to play Unity as the Kogi breaker. Like this kind of stuff is something that I can't evaluate at this stage. Which maybe this is actually a good candidate for us to just like throw into Netrunner, throw into JNet and jam.
Sure. Yeah, the deck is 46 cards.
Yep.
So it is over cards, like over minimum size, but not like drastically over minimum size.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just like click through them all, and then we'll see what we want to do. Because our plan was to just like click through all the deck lists, give like a little first impression on all of them, and then identify a deck or two, and we could just jam a game or two. Because we don't have a ton of time today. Yeah.
Okay,
London says
second is motion love. Oh, okay. Yes.
London says
Connor.
Deer's Mag, maybe with one or two changes, runs over all these corps. I've been talking up Lilypad Mag for a while. I had a brief glance at this list. You want to talk about that list next, just because it's here? We'll just go out of order. It's fine.
Sure. That's fine.
So Deer is here. Okay, I had a brief look at this mag deck. And my first impression on this is that it's not playing VRcation. So like this deck seems like it's lacking on draw, like severely. Like we have 3 Nukas, and 3 Stone Ship just cycles itself. So 3 Nukas and 2 Lily Pads, a Spec Work, and a Ritual seems to me like it is lacking in draw. And like in my mind, like VRcation is the best mag card. So I guess my first impression on this is just that it's lacking on draw, and is it better in lat?
Mhm.
Phil said he changed his tires out the other week. I'm so sorry. Phil sent me a message, man, maybe 2 weeks ago, about when I'm gonna stream, because he changes his tires out every time I stream, and I told him that I couldn't. So I guess he changed his tires without me. Jai is here.
Yeah, London. Oh, yes. We
Good
can go in
morning.
order.
Good morning, Jai.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good morning, Jai. And then Chris says Stone Ship is kind of tech, which is true. There's a lot of AU out there. But like London says, the change would be like more spec work and lily pad. and I think I played London's lily pad version at some point. I think like I think the draw, like lily pad could help with the draw there. Oh well, like but this list already is playing 2 lily pad. Okay, never mind. What is the change then? Oh, like 3rd lily pad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That also sounds a little odd.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, that is like the kind of thing that I feel like you need to like actually test the list to determine.
Yeah.
Which I have not done.
Yeah. Okay. And then also like we don't have like it's a 2 deep dive deck with just a Hannah, which is what I did. Right? Is that what I did in Lat? Was I just had a Hannah?
1 Hannah and 2 deep dive?
Did I have another click gaining card?
That sounds.
Oh, I had a DJ. I had a DJ Sable.
DJ Sable.
Yeah, I had a DJ Sable. So that's also a little odd. And like 3 fermenter. Like I feel like you should be able to rush this deck out. Like okay, like it's really teched against kill, right? Because we got 3 stone chips, we got simul chips and lily pad. And then like our late game is really good because we have like these 3 fermenters are gonna cook a lot of is gonna like cook up a lot of counters. And then I guess like we're relying on cheap early breakers to not get rushed out, and we got overclock, so that helps a lot. But yeah, like I think the draw and like the early, like it's gonna clunk up early, I would expect. Like no knickknack, right? Like we're not on the knickknack Muse coalescence engine. Like I see 3 coalescence and a spec work, and I guess DZMZ for like in terms of like what synergizes with the coalescence, because there's no environmental testing either. So I'm actually rather confused the more I talk about it. Any other comments, Fa, before we move
on? No, just reading through chat mostly. Sunfish says hi, and
yes,
hi.
Hello.
Back. There's no border control, but you would like ideally want clicks so you can access 2 agendas. Mythia. That like I think ideally if you're landing a deep dive, you want to land it for like 2 accesses.
Okay, responding to a little bit more coming from 3x Anacam. Okay, well 3x Anacam is different because like there's like when you play events, you should be gaining money, but when you like install programs, you're not gaining money. Like only 3 coalescence, right? So it's like if you like draw your programs and your lily pad early, then like you're going to be hurting on money. But if you're drawing your events and your Anacam early, then you're drawing money. But I don't know. Like I understand how good Lilypad is. Because I did play a little bit of Mag in person, like when I was in Liverpool, and just with like random decks that people had in the UK. Jai says if we want to do our async round, do I want to do it this time tomorrow? What day is it tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. Yes, I can do it this time tomorrow. Yeah, let's do it this time tomorrow. So that means I need to figure out what decks to play. But yeah, we can do that. London says I was on 1 knickknack and I was already thinking about cutting before I saw Deers. Thinking about cutting knickknack? Cut DZMZ for rigging up and maybe 1x environmental testing. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, those are like the econ considerations I'd be thinking about. Okay. Looking at the AUCO, so there's another AUCO, second one in a row. Oh yeah, I briefly looked at this too. This deck is like I'm gonna install a tag agenda
Mm.
with a see how they run or orbital, and then kill you with it with my one copy of End of the Line. Yeah, I mean, like there's lots of different ways to build AU code. I guess this just is another thing you gotta worry about is
Yeah.
when things get spammed onto the board, you're gonna have to beware of a see how they run or an orbital and then an End of the Line. Reaper function makes sense. Bladderwort, it might hit a damage off you.
It has a better like set matchup than which has been something that's been pretty big or bigger in the meta recently. And so like because it has end of the like the runner has a much harder time floating tags, or like really shouldn't be floating tags, which is kind of what the sub deck needs to do.
Yeah. 3 Oppo. I guess it's difficult because the agendas are spiky. But 3 Oppo is a lot of Oppos. Got 2 petty cash, 2 planogram, no hedge funds because we're gonna be poor. Sure. We got a Mav in there. Okay. It's another. It's like a. I feel like there's like a lot of cards that AUCO can play, so I don't really know what to think of this one. Also, there's a Fly Swatter and a Mav, so clearly we think that viruses are important to deal with.
It seems decently tacked into the Sebastio deck to me, which is playing like the Audrey and Potulus's as like some of the bigger ways of getting through the ice, excluding like ice destruction.
Okay. That's interesting because we don't have like I don't know, like the ice is like what we got. We have 3 Anemone, a Fly Swatter, 1 Finutria, 1 Samak, and 3 Tatubola. So the Tatubola, yeah, I guess like we're either just like doing a sudden purge behind like when the runner is running something important, and then we have like a Tatu or a Samak to end the run, or we're gonna deal some damage with like a surprise Finutria. Because the Anemone's dealing 2 damage anyways. So that's only 1 extra damage, if that's what we're going for. Okay. Okay, let's see. Where are we going next? Continue down the line? Ooh.
Sure.
Okay, we have a Built-to-Last and a Sable. So, okay, I saw a couple Built-to-Lasts. I guess only...
This is a spicy one, though.
Only 2 made the cut. Well, I don't know what Built-to-Last means. So I'm interested
Well, this one's playing 2 Jupe Suns grids, which is...
Okay.
Seems like it's doing that kind of for value, which is... Well, I guess for measured response, specifically. Like, you're trying to score 2 green mail off it, and, like, kill with measured response afterwards.
Cool. I mean, if this works, that's neat. 2 Emin Domain. 1 Azif Protocol. 3 Basalt Spire. Yeah, so this deck's got the... I mean... I guess, yeah, it's interesting, the ID, but the Basalt Spire works well with the measured response, and this is... Like, it is really just relying on measured response. Because otherwise, like, aside from measured response, this is just money and ice.
Yes.
Which is, that's, like, it's cool to see that this... If this works, that's neat. Charlotte is really good in BTL. Aket is slow, but good to see. I do like that card. Hammer, Salandra. Got a 1 of Winchester, measured response, 1 petty cash, 2 Tikana. Tikana's gonna get ice. Only 1 Anthill contract, because we have the Charlotte. That's interesting.
You like really want to draw one of the 3 assets,
Yeah.
right? Like not drawing the Charlotte seems like you're gonna be pretty low on money in this deck.
Ranji says it doesn't really work. I mean, the thing is, no, that's I mean, that's what I'm saying is like I would like this deck to work, but also like measured response is like, I don't know. I don't know how to put my thoughts into words about this card. Like, it seems like a way to win the game that is a little too simple. Yeah. I don't know.
Like, as in it's too good or too bad, or like
I think when it's like I think like when it leads to a kill, it's like a little too like I think without the tags aspect, it's a little too binary. Like I guess you're saying like you have to tag the runner and then play end of line, right? And then measured response says you don't have to tag the runner, but it needs to be threat 4. They need to have made a run last turn, and you can trash it. And like I don't know. I haven't played that many games, but like the trashing aspect of it, I think is neat. But like you can just work around that with Basalt Spire. So the fact that I'm trashing the measured response and then the Basalt Spire is getting it back on a score or steal is like it feels like the counterplay to measured response is a little too easy to get rid of. Like it's too easy for the corp to deal with the counterplay of trashing the measured response, because the runner can just randomly walk into a Basalt Spire and then you can pick up a measured response. But maybe that's good for the game, because then runners have to be like very careful with when they're willing to access a Basalt Spire. But I just fear that it's going to be a little too like, I'm going to run and access, and if I steal an agenda, great. Like in the early game I'm talking. If I steal an agenda, great. And if it's a Basalt Spire and I get to threat 4, then like that's just the risk I gotta take, and that is a little unfortunate if that's the case situation.
I don't know. Like you play like I think London just said you can play Stone Ship. You can like have money.
Wait,
you can like
no, you can play 2 Stone Ships because it does 4 damage.
Oh no, I mean in this case with like the Jupe start thing. But like otherwise,
Sure.
you have 4 cards, you have 8 credits, and they have to land 3 of them. Like
Measured response is the reason Crim isn't good. Yeah, okay. Let's keep going. This is a Reg Sable, 3 mutual favor, an Alarm Clock, a Game Dragon, Carmen Cure Pure Unity, which makes Game Dragon just there for the Carmen, for strength 3 sentries, and then 3 copies of Side Hustle.
wow, that's a lot of Side Hustle in my mind.
And no open markets. That's surprising. But yeah, I mean, like, it's a Red Crim. You've got your companion. You've got a 20. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay, right. So we've got the Prav deck and the Sebastio deck. So this is, I think there's a lot to talk about here. I briefly looked at the write up for this Prav deck. And the Prav deck is like and I was thinking about this too when Idiosyncrasis came out. I was like, okay, if I ever want to if Brandon is ever testing a runner deck and I want to just like give him a hard time, I just like throw a bunch of traps into a Prav deck and then like play that against him, because like this could easily be like the next PE where you like between Idiosyncrasis and Check a Scion, and then you can throw in other stuff, right? Like Cerebral Overrider, or whatever, like Urtica Cipher. Like, there's a lot of annoying stuff that you can just like throw in Prav and make a bunch of 50/50s, and then, as this deck is doing, Orbital Superiority, send a message, or sorry, Orbital Superiority and Tomorrow's Headline gets you a kill with End of the Line and touch-ups. So this seems like a scary deck. Yeah, this seems like a scary deck. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't want to play into it. It reminds me of like the trappy like traps PE. And that's like terrible. The meta should not be at a place in which like trap decks are good is my position.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound like in the write-up, like Not Yet, he was saying that it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of people that are like, runners are too good and corps are not good, and yeah, I I don't know. I'm just like kind of reacting right now because I haven't been playing corp, but I have a lot of like I like some corp ideas that I'm like this deck should be decent. But yeah, next big thing is good. This deck makes a lot of sense. Like the send a message sucks, but what can you do? And that's about it. Like there's a lot of ways you can kind of fiddle with this that to change cards around, and it seems like a very threatening deck. Okay, over to the Sebastio. Also another like deck that I would expect to be very good. Like Transfer of Wealth is like really, really good in this ID. Buffer Drive, Ashen Epilogue, and there's your 15 influence. Like that just like I think like this type of deck is kind of easy to construct, because your influence is like I think very locked. Because this is just clearly very good. Is 3 Transfer of Wealth and Ashen and a Buffer Drive. And there's your 15 influence. And then the rest of the deck you just kind of build by just clicking through Netrunner DB and looking at the Anarch and the neutral cards. So, different ways you can go, I guess. You can do the amanuensis tag thing, which is going to draw you a lot. It's just like unfortunate that the whole like I think I sent this to you earlier, and like Sebastio's ability to protect its own resources has always to me been like if it's good, then it's going to be a little toxic, because like as a corp player, if Sebastio's like, you know, a really good deck, which it seems to me like it should be, with Transfer of Wealth being a card, that like you're gonna have to put like actual tag punishment cards into your deck, because if you don't, then like you're gonna have to like I don't know, you're gonna have to like figure something out, and it seems like that might be like impossible to figure out if you're not willing to put tag punishment cards into your deck, because just like having money and being able to take the time to trash resources is like not a very viable strategy, because they can Buffer Drive Ashen and just like outlast you when you have to trash cards out of your hand to trash resources. But that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, the deck makes a lot of sense. You can play very aggressive. Yeah, like I doubt that the deck is like the deck as is with 2 Audrey, 2 Botulus, and 3 three crew with a Devil Charm and two Bankar is like enough for like really ice heavy decks. Um, I think that's my only comment on it, but the rest of the deck makes a ton of sense. Just because the cards all fit together really well, and you just like cycle through your cards.
Yeah. You can like the privileged access does extend the life of the like crews and stuff like that for the bigger decks quite a bit, but it's still like for like the more like glaciery decks, but still.
Yeah. Okay. So we have that. I'm going to. Okay, so we're still thinking the front runner right now is the Rio, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to close tabs as we talk through this, because we are eating up a ton of time. You said 6:30.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna have time for like one game, hopefully.
That's correct.
Okay, an AUCO and a Magdalene. Right. So I think this was like playing the three Blood in the Waters with the hostile architecture, and the two Reaper functions. This is a deck that we've been seeing for a little bit over the last couple events. I think the two Angelique is something that I did notice before, but there was like kind of 6 floating influence there that you can spend on a variety of things. I think Angelique is fine. Peer review is good. I'm surprised that like I would expect Hansi review to be really good in AUCO, and some decks don't play it, and that surprises me. Mindscaping surprises me. But yeah, I mean like, um, I feel like we've seen these types of decks around enough that I'm surprised they're still doing well. Because I think this is a kind of deck that I would I can see it doing well without when people don't know it's coming, and then once you know it's coming, I wouldn't expect it to do very well. So it's interesting to see that it's still like there's still a lot of AUCOs showing up at the top.
What's the counterplay against it if you know it's coming then?
Um, I just I think
Like how should people react? Like or how would people react to prevent?
so having a runner deck that is just like a little bit more flexible in terms of like dealing with the board. Um, so I think like having a runner deck that's like trying to do something specific, um, and like I think what's probably happening in most games where AUCO is winning, like an AUCO like this is winning, because there's no trick here, right? So like the D's AUCO deck is like trying to like surprise, give you a tag, kill you. And this deck is kind of like a slow bleed situation. Like there's nothing surprising in terms of like there's no like a surprise kill trick. All the cards kind of do like 1 or 2 damage each, and it's all like cards that you see coming. So when you play against a deck like this, like you have to, when you have like the 1/3 asset that's taking up on counters, like you're gonna be like, okay, well, I don't want to go and steal a sting until I go and trash that. So you got to go and try to trash that. And if you're playing a runner deck where your cards are all kind of like trying to do something else, so your cards all cost you money and they're like there to trash ice or there to like you're trying to do like all your cards are helping you do other things that are not trashing cards on the board, then I would expect like runner decks to kind of like adapt a little more such that you have like more of a heavier econ package in order to deal with corpse just throwing assets on the board.
Yeah, I could see like having a lighter econ package being like a problem for this deck. Like a problem playing against the deck because it is like hostile cost 4 plus like if you have Makoda on it, fat cost 3. I don't know if you trash a hostile even. But like ladder words and cohorts, you may or may not want to get rid of. Viva functions. It's like,
yeah.
So also, it seems like the deck didn't do that well. Anyways,
okay.
right? This is Diogenes. Wait, no, that's
This
not
is
the right one.
why not?
Why not? Okay, it went 3-1, which is good, I guess. Like, it's quite good. Okay, yeah.
London says, so what you're saying is play Control Shaper with wheels, Azimuth, Pinhole. See, I mean, I don't know, but like, it does seem like Shaper, like Shaper needs to have Azimuth and hopefully wheels in it. I think, if like Ayuko is showing up as much as it is, like just like Acid Spam Ayuko. Yeah. London's saying that we should play Stone Ship Lily Pad Mag. I don't know. We'll keep it in mind. This is another Mag. This is also, is this on Stone Ships? It's got 2 Stone Ships. This is more like got the 2 environmental testings. No knickknack again.
It's on the Bacilla Synth Gland.
Yep.
Well, which
I like to see this.
Interesting into this, like, interesting into this field of like decks that want to kill you.
Yeah, I don't expect this to be worth the slot, but I want this card to be good. So, happy to see. 3 ritual, 3 spec work is more draw, like more the draw that I would expect in this type of deck. Like, yeah, 3 ritual, 3 spec work. This plan
makes ritual really, well, like, better.
Oh, that's true. But again, I'm really surprised there's no VRcation. I guess like you're playing ritual because the Synth Gland is good, and then like there's no room for VRcation. I can see that. Yeah. Got the 2 Azimuths. Azimuth's so much MU. It's so sad. This is so sad that it's 2 MU. Oh, there is 1 VRcation. What am I talking about? Okay. And then you have a 1 Ashen, which you can't get back in any other way. So if it gets hit by your Synth Gland, then that sucks. And if you...
Then you're just sad.
Yeah, and you can lose it another way. But that's okay. Alright. We've seen Deers. We're looking at Diogenes, who's played Sable and Ayuko. Ayuko yet again. Longevity Serum is very good. I like this card. I think this card's been like the slots don't allow for it sometimes because people want to play Blood in the Water. Another 3 bites, and then just kind of the same cards. Empiricist with Scatter Fields. We're spending some influence on some ice, some little bigger ice, which is good.
Measured response.
Vampire NASA, and then 1 measured response, 2 YDLs. Okay, so there's a lot of different influence here because we don't have the hostiles.
YDL is a very interesting include, considering Ayuko is like kinda, if you're like moon pooling and stuff like that, you're probably to an extent you're like trashing cards from your hand. Your hunt save if you trash this card from hand.
Yeah.
I guess Ayuko like draws 2 cards a turn.
So you can like draw 2 at start of turn, and then you mandatory draw. So that's like 8 cards at start of turn if you started with 5. Like I guess you play the deck a lot more closer to home in terms of like you don't just like throw your cards out on the board and you actually try to ice it, especially with the scatter fields. So I can see that. Again, we see that 1 Mavris. And then the Sable, triple deep dive Sable.
It's deep dive.
With 1 mutual favor. Okay, this is the same. So this is the same. This is the same list that I posted.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, it's good to see that deck is doing good. Which is not really. This
is
deck
it good
is like,
to see?
like I'm like so like I'm so depressed that this deck works. Because you're literally just like, do I have enough bypass tools to get through the ice that my corp has? I don't care what their ice is. And like that sucks. But the deck went 5-0, so there you go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there's so
Yeah,
many more to go.
Yes, it is. I might not get to play with you.
Well, how are you
but
feeling?
that's
Do you
okay.
want to play or do you want to keep going?
Whatever you want.
Let's catch up on chat. And I don't know, like I guess all the
It's
kill
your
decks
stream.
all the kill decks are telegraphed by ID except maybe Whalen with measured, so Bastlar is easy to ignore. Sure. Every Wayland is on measured response. That makes sense. VR is hard to play on hand size 3 when you're holding Diet Ashen. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we'll click through. We'll click through quickly. Just because we set out to click through all of them. Okay, this is the same Pravdivos deck. Similar enough.
Yes.
I think there's a slight difference in the bite.
Same special, more or less.
Oh, okay. Let's keep going. We've talked about this. This is the two decks that Chris has played. We've seen this is Reiko Shiko, what Not Yet he posted, and I think this is what I would play if I was playing Reiko Shiko. With a yeah. And then the AUCO is also something that we've already talked about. Oh yeah, so Chris was playing the 2 Holomans, and like this is like yet another, like this is the whole like here's the 6 influence, what do you want to do with it? Assuming that the hostile architectures are good, which I think they are, because like being able to pay 5 to res hostile architecture when you're trying to bladder wart and hostile architecture protects your stuff, I think makes a lot of sense. So in my mind, there's 6 influence, but like I think you could easily cut the hostiles and play other stuff. But with the 6 influence, again, lots of stuff you can play. But the Hollow Man lets you score the Regenesis if you have the Fuji already in the bin, which does give Hollow Man quite a bit of legs, I think, in AUCO. Just because Hollow Man is the only way to score Regenesis without doing like clunky stuff like Plutus. And Plutus to me is a little clunky, but maybe it's not. Yeah, but like I guess like yeah, like I guess like the AU codex, like all of them that we've seen is like step 1 is like can I cheese out a kill because I have like too many bladder warts and futs and anemones that I've drawn early, and like stings that I can score off the board. And if I can't, or hybrid release from hand, and if I can't cheese out a kill, then what's my plan? And most of the time, like it's try to sneak out a Regenesis Fuji, and then like Moonpool or other 3 points, or like score those off the board or what have you. And like that, I guess like yeah, you got to figure out how are we gonna score that Regenesis. And I guess D's deck goes the other way of like, okay, if I can't just like random net damage like Bladder Wart, grind you down, then I'm going to score a 2-pointer, give you a tag, and play end of the line. So I guess that's the 2 main things that we've seen after that initial plan of see if drawing my cards wins the game.
Cool.
Pluto's not very good outside of Wayland in my experience. Yeah, it's interesting. I can see that. Okay, we've got a Leo and a Hoshiko. The Leo, how'd Leo do? 2, 1, and 2. Okay. like Leo seems very hard to make work. But it seems like scary if it can get set up. But like I've from my experience, like 'cause I played against Leo a little bit when I was playing like Deep Dive Sable in the UK, and it was always just like on the defense and the whole time, and I could like keep forcing them to play defense until I won the game. So it's got like the classic, but like it's got the classic like HB versus Crim problem, I guess, which like you want to get a humanoid or a regolith or an off-world out there, but you can't because you have to ice HQ and you're gonna get central pressured to death.
Yeah, and the agenda suite for HB right now is quite
Exactly.
bad.
Yeah, the agenda
Like
suite sucks.
you have to play like you one salvo testing, which does absolutely nothing else in your deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, salvo testing. Send a message is also not ideal. Your ice is all like most of your ice cost like all the relevant ice costs 6. The other ice is like you got ablative, and then Boomy is like fine. Fly Swatter is I think bad. Hakarl is bad, and then like Microweb is an interesting include, and then Tier I guess is fine, and then like because you just have the Boomy, like you have to like kind of like jump over a few hoops for Leo to actually do a thing. Yeah, is what it is. Isaac is I've understand that like that's getting ported because that's a Byroid upgrade, and then of course Mercia, which I'm surprised is not a 3 of.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
The Hoshiko looks pretty like pretty normal. There's some like Odore is a different breaker. And but other than that, it's pretty standard stuff. Three bravados as well as spending the influence. Which bravado is a good card.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. Two Katorga and an Ashen. Price, Keiko. Then you got the Bankars. So we're playing no. Like I feel like I'd rather play Buffer Drive. Just so that we don't have to like worry about the Katorga and the Ashen in hand when we're running with Bankar. But different ways of building Reg Hosh. And Odore seems like it could be good because there's a lot of virtuals that are being played. Okay. The thing I think is strong about Plutus. Oh, sorry. Lemon says surprise no Gaslight in Deer's list. I have to try to remember, but I guess I would be surprised too because I think there's only one end of the line in there. The thing I think is strong about Plutus is that it forces you through a remote without being an agenda, and only Waylon and maybe Leo are interested in building a remote. Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true. Like I remember playing or watching a runner game where I was like, I think I was playing and I was like, oh, it's a Plutus, like you can have that. And then they like started using it, and then my plan was to trash it later, and I felt that was kind of fine. But it did cost me a little more than I initially expected. Okay. Ayuko and a Rio. This Rio's on Simulchip. Has a bit more breakers.
Is on Lobi Orca.
Has Orca Lobi.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
yeah. That's significant.
Botulus, Bankar, and also Lobi Orca. Which seems a little...
But we're not cheating out the Lobi Orca. We're just like simul shipping them.
Right.
Yeah, you're like paying. You're essentially you're paying for them with like a little bit of a discount.
I think we saw this when we were playing last week, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Right? And then, I think so. Yeah, I think what I had like people were installed. I think we were like playing a corp game, and like Lobi Summon was getting installed, and then we were like, oh, like there's actually no, like if you just have too many barriers installed, they don't have a way of breaking a barrier.
It was not a Phoenix. I think that we were playing against, but
it was a Shaper deck. But I guess it's the same problem.
Yeah, it was a Shaper deck, but same problem is that like if you're playing against a lot of barriers, low B is problematic. You would have to like re-simul ship it or something like that.
Yeah.
Also, are they playing? I guess, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cat says hi. Hello, Cat. First stream
Hi, Cat.
in too long.
I didn't get a hi, but so now I'm sad.
Oh no. Cat's in trouble. We got another AUCO. It's the same deck. There's 2 front companies, which is another card in the list of cards that you can include in this ID, in this type of deck. It seems fine. I feel like front companies shouldn't be worth the deck slots because there's lots of other cards that you want to include. And just like, it's probably like an underwhelming ability because if you can Ice HQ and R&D, which is good, you should do that. The runner has to make a run on a central before they run a remote. But it's just like they have to clear down, like they have to run a central, clear down a 2/2 asset. And like you have like, if the runner's playing well, like you shouldn't be able to score your Blood in the Waters, and the Fujis are gonna like be kind of cooking in, like sitting in hand. So I can see like agenda management being awkward enough that the runner can just like run HQ and steal an agenda when they run HQ because of front company. But maybe it's worth it. And then
Also, 7 ice seems light for a deck that would want to ice a central.
Right. Yeah, because you're making the runner, like most of the time you're gonna like have a front company and you don't really want to pay $2 to make them spend a click and run a central first. That's open. So I agree with that. And then you have 3 Reaper functions, so we're leaning in a little harder on the you didn't check my card, so now you're gonna randomly die. And then a Mitra is I guess surprising with 7 ice, but fine. And then we got that Hollow Man and the Hostile Architectures, which we've talked about already.
I mean, imagine the Mitras for like to try and like recur the anemones for more damage, but it's still like,
yeah. Okay, and then Not Yet Eat we have talked about already with the Pravdivos and Raigushiko, so we can just skip over that one. Toron playing BTL and Hashiko. What do we have here? Oh my, okay.
So, like very honest BTL.
Okay, we like to see that. I like honesty.
There's not even measured response, so that like.
Oh man,
it's just like the idiosyncrasies, I guess, is the one like kind of like trappy thing, but really it's just kind of econ plus like this thing that hurts the runner a little bit. Yeah.
Good stuff.
And then there's no like defensive upgrades or anything like that. It's just ice and money and scoring agendas off the board.
Yeah. Cool. I'm happy to see that this did well. I mean, if it went 3-1-1, yeah, I guess we're really just like pushing things behind ice, and sometimes it's an agenda, and sometimes it's idiosyncrasies, which you have to trash with the Mokata Langer grid. And there's a wonderful number of 3-ofs. The Mikata is the only upgrade for the logjam. Cool. It's good to see a deck like this doing well. Kat says boo boring, but that's boring is interesting in Netrunner. Or it is here. Okay, we got Hashiko, Charm Offensive. I need to remember what that does.
2 Charm Offensive. It's the one that it's like Demolition.
Oh right, yeah. Emulation script.
Emulation script. It sounds the same. It's the one, like you access a card in archive and it trashes another copy.
But other than that, this is just like a rag hosh with buffer drive and Ashen. Fine.
Correct.
Okay. Whiteblade playing Ob and Sable. I'm interested to see what this Ob is. Let's start with the Sable because I feel like we're either playing like a Reg Sable or a Deep Dive Sable. Looks like this one is a Reg Sable.
Yeah. There's a no free lunch.
Different deck building decisions you can make here. I've never been a fan of Wake Implant. Surprised at 2 Carpe Diem. But there's 2 Kurupiras. Oh, we're playing 2 of every breaker. Ooh.
But we're only spending influence on one of Echelon and one of Unity.
Yeah. Okay. Which means there's no. Man, I don't even remember what the card is called now. It's not
There's
here.
no mutual favor.
Right. Okay, yeah, because we got 2 of every breaker. There's 3 Class X. So we're going to Class Act our way into this breakers, which is fine. That's a way you can do it. 1 info bounty, I think, is not enough. Got 1 side hustle.
Yeah.
Open market twinning paladin. Sure. Okay. I'm going to catch up on chat a little bit. Yeah, 2. Okay, yeah. So the front company comments being responded to. Ranji, are you going to Ranji, but also everybody else? Are y'all going to OTG, which is on the 7th and 8th of June? Because there's that was like I was intending to go this whole time, and there's the whole $500 minimum cash prize, but like it's a little awkward for me to go because like it's like I have like the online course that I'm doing and I can't miss any of that, so I have to like find a flight from Edmonton like at the end of day Friday, which is fine, but then I would have to leave like Sunday night, and I like it like feels really bad to like schedule a flight leaving Sunday night without knowing how late the tournament is gonna go. So there's that, and also it just like costs a ton of money because like the flight, like me booking a flight and like staying at the hotel is like gonna cost way more than the potential $500 of winning. So like even with the cash prize, like the economics of like making that trip down is actually very expensive to just go 2 days. As someone enjoying Sable lately, please keep running front company. Toron is Scoring's last soldier and got a count siphoned to death. That's unfortunate. I look too happy about BTL being playable. BTL is great. BTL is like an econ ID, and econ IDs being good is good. Giving us scoring agendas. I think that's what I'm happy about is like scoring agendas behind ice being good is like that's good. Like scoring agendas behind ice being good is like happy Netrunner, and like installing a bunch of assets and then like putting advancement counters on a orbital superiority and then playing end of the line is that is boring Netrunner.
Yeah.
Can't go to OTG. Children make your life really fucked up. No room for important things like children's card games. That's unfortunate. Win the $500 and I'll win it back off you in a poker game. Very true. Okay, and then we've got Ob. Oh, that's right. That's what Ob. Yeah. Okay, so Ob is like we're gonna install Cyber Sand Harvester and then get us out of the Bladder Wart, and then we're gonna like Bladder Wart you to death because we have consistent Bladder Warts. And we have the FAT and the excavator, just kind of like ripping our board apart so that we can get more threatening things, and then we can slash and burn an Aztec protocol to deal 2 damage.
And you play motion response.
Yeah. Fine. 3 fly
Fine.
swatter. Wow. That's surprising.
We're going. The Snare Bears looked at the meta and were like, viruses. That's the problem here.
Right. People are installing too many imps. Okay, yeah, there's 3.
So, hot tip. If people are installing too many imps, a very easy solution to that does not involve slotting cards in your deck is calling a judge.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun time. Murder is fun. Sure it is. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm surprised that, like, I think to me, the like random clearinghouse hearts and minds thing seems very scary. And like, you can Cyber Sand Harvester to search for hearts and minds. So like, you can like surprise Hearts and Minds clearinghouse and then like finish with the Nazif Slash and Burn. That seems like really appealing to me, but like I can also see that like not making the slots, because that is obviously like a little like combo finisher. And if you can just like consistently get your other cards out, because like Bladderwort and like all the other cards here are going to be like more important than the cards that I just said. For like most of the game. So if you can consistently get these cards out and win without the Hearts and Minds and the Clearinghouse, then that would be ideal. But Hearts and Minds Clearinghouse seems like a very, very potent threat. Oh my goodness. Okay, 3 more. We have another Ob. We've talked about this. I think this is like more like what the first list posted was like. So yeah, okay. So this deck has the Hearts and Minds and the Clearinghouse, and yeah. So there you go. Different ways to build the deck, and it's
playing
scary.
Rakota for the like extra trash cost.
Yeah, and it's scary because you never know what's in the deck that you're playing against. Sounds like another matchup for Azimuth Wheelstone Ship. Sure, I mean like that's the point, I guess, is like exactly like it doesn't necessarily need to be those cards, but just like trash assets seems to be what we're dealing with here. EA Sports and Snarebers both fear Seb. Sure, yeah, I can see that. Cheap Go-Kates that ETRs rip in English. Yeah, okay. Hashiko paying influence for Dirty Laundry. Biobands, 2 Boomerang, otherwise very rag. Seeing another Adore. Cool. I mean, but this makes a lot of sense. Like, yeah, if you want to trash assets, play a deck like this. 2 more. We got a Thule. This is something, yeah, so this is just like, iceless Thule, right? There's like no ice here. There's 3 Jaguarundis and an Ablative Barrier. And then we just like, there's not even a code gate. And we're just like spamming things onto the board. We have the new 3-1 aggressive trend setting. And eventually... Right, yeah, no salvo. So there's a ton of agendas here, but agendas are fine because our ID half protects them. It discourages runs on centrals early. You gotta have to deal with the board, and like this deck seems really good. This is something that I was like, I haven't actually built this yet, but the Thule is something that I would expect to be good. 3 bifurcation is quite a bit.
Yeah, the current HP agenda suite kind of leads you towards core damage in some way, and Thor actually has that in its ID, which helps.
Yeah.
With that building.
Yeah. And then we got a Muesliha, and then the T is a last name. I don't know. Which is just a bunch of run events, and the Matryoshka situation. This deck is like it's fine. Like it's like surprisingly decent. 3 pinhole threading is a lot of pinholes, but like I think the ID with just like jamming icebreakers and run events in here is actually like like I don't know, like I don't think it's busted, but it's like good enough that like I'm kind of like quite happy with where it is, because it's like good enough that it's like playable at like top tournaments, I think. And this deck's not even playing it, but like I think Sankan Seal is quite good. That's the code gate breaker that boosts better if you have a run event active, and you can play enough run events that you're just like, I'm just gonna run your centrals and have like efficient breakers for breaking centrals, and it was like it's quite good. And that's like it's like a type of like central access deck that I think is interesting, whereas like Mercury bypass is not interesting, but this is like my cards are efficient when I run centrals, but I'm not just like bypassing your eyes. So I like that. I like where this ID sits. Okay, and then last one, we have a PD and a Sable.
It's a deep dive Sable.
This is the deep dive Sable.
Exactly your list as well, I think.
Yeah,
pretty much your list.
Yep. Yeah, it is. How'd it do? 2 and 2. Wait, is 2 the tie? No, 2's a loss. So it's 2 wins and 2 losses.
2's loss.
And then we have PD with Midnight 3 vulnerability audit. Yeah, so this is like a way to mitigate HB's 3-pointer situation, is you play like a seamless launch deck with vulnerability audit, and I think there could be something here. It's not going to be good against like decks that can early pressure you and then like finisher. So like most like Crim decks can probably be pretty good against this, because when you lose your 3-pointer out of a central, like it's not going to res you an ice, and it's not going to like cost the runner a click and 2 credits. They're just going to get it. So it's always going to be like a little bit behind than what we're used to PD being, but it's a way to do it. The big deal though is like not gonna score your 3-pointers. That's really sad.
Mm-hmm.
You got a Void, 2 Skunk. Surprised we're not on 3 Tranks. That's about it. Scatterfield? What do you think of Scatterfield in PD?
In PD? It's like 3 seems like a lot.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Scatterfield like is appealing in certain situations, and then other times it doesn't seem that good. Because it's like that's the only ice you can put there, and if you put another ice, it gets weaker.
Yeah.
I would try really hard.
Because in PD, a lot of the time you do want to stack it. Like you do want to stack ice towards late game, right? Especially if it's going slower.
Exactly.
And if these are code gate, it's like not good enough.
Yeah, like I would try really hard to not play it. Ranji says I don't think the Thule works. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I mean I think that's the thing is like, does the Thule work? Is like if it works, then like this is like a big threat that you have to really think about, because it's also like it's kind of just like a throw your cards onto the board deck. I hope it doesn't work. But like, well, I don't know. I can see this working, but I hope it doesn't work. London says, you know what I'm going to say about this Thule. Very good. I've been playing a Thule like that. It's fine. Deck seems awful if the runner kills the measured response. Sure, yeah, because you don't have like the built-in Basalt Spire to pick it up. But I think like this is what people were like I think this is more like what I would like to see measured response like being, is like, when you trash the measured response, for me to get it back, I need to like spin doctor it back, or I need to prevent you from trashing it by like 3 credits is a big tax, or you have to like aggressive trend setting. Does aggressive trend setting work on a central access?
No, it does not. It's
Okay.
only installed cards.
Okay, so that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I remember that. I remember that now. But yeah, like I just feel like the built-in like Basalt Spire, like, oh, you stole an agenda, it's threat 4, and I'm gonna pick up the measure response is like a little boring. Um, Whereas like this makes like the measured response like trash thing interaction a little more interesting. But yeah, I see it like the measure response does bring up a lot of threat. Humanoid resources into measure response that drop the runner to 0 to force a scoring window is real funny. Sure. Muesli Hot is pronounced exactly how it reads with the T. Oh, okay. PD looks confused. Didn't want to spend influence on code gates. Doesn't fear sub, I guess. Yeah. My assumption is that every runner's on some kind of Azamat fence or by asset tag. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you have to score your aggressive trend setting, and then the deck is okay. I can see that. Okay. There's all the decks. We've ripped through all of them. You probably have to leave kind of soon, but should we try to play with the time we got? Or?
Maybe we can try to play a game.
Okay. I need to go to the bathroom again. So I'm going to have to let you entertain the people. But we're still going to play this.
Oh my god. Okay.
This Rio. Phoenix Ono Phoenix? Out of the ashes. I feel like Rio is the way to go.
Yes, I agree.
But let's here, I'm gonna paste this into JNet, and then you can tell me you can think about what card we should cut out of this deck, or if we want to just play it as is at 46.
Just play it as is at 46. Okay. Its authenticity.
All right. Okay, I will be right back. Or wait, here. Yeah.
Kat says, I want a casual tournament with a similar list. I will say, Kat, I think you can win a casual tournament with a lot of lists. So like that's not like the most glowing recommendation of the list, considering I think you play Netrunner very well.
Okay. I was thinking how to do this. Are you able to like log into my account? Because if you watch me from the stream, you're gonna be delayed.
Yeah. I can watch from your account.
Okay. Let's go. We're gonna go runner. I'm glad you think I can sweep D with garbage decks, though. I don't remember saying that. But I do think you can sweep D with garbage decks. Do you remember me saying that?
I was the one who said that. I said that while you were gone.
Okay.
Because Kat said that they want a casual tournament with similar lists. but I like, but I said I don't think that's a ringing endorsement of the deck.
Uh-huh. London says 2 is a lot of Taka. That makes sense. That is a lot of Taka. Let me see if I can import this list and create a little overlay. Do I have a game yet? Oh my goodness, it's 47 cards. What the heck happened here?
7.
Rio. Ah, sorry. This.
Okay, do you want me to copy the list, like, for you?
I just need to figure out when I imported it. Is there a banner in this list? There's not, right? Oh, there is a banner. Oh my goodness. Okay.
There is a banner. Yeah. There's a banner.
Okay, well, it's fine. Eli's here.
Is it actually just 47? Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. We're not gonna have an overlay. I'm playing the Rio deck. Y'all can follow along. Okay, what do we think of this hand?
There's Paladin.
It seems great.
That's all.
I think.
Yeah.
We have a steel skin. We have a steel skin. We have a bands. What does this card do? The first time each turn you steal or trash a corp card, place power counter on this resource. When your action phase ends, you may remove 2 host power counters, sabotage 3. Steal or trash a corp card. Sure. It's very expensive. I have read this card before, but I'm just like, don't remember what it says. Oh, okay, wait. So the people are going to want me to zoom in. And then also full screen. This hand is praying to find a fermenter. Interesting. Uh-oh. Ranji posted a thing and said caught in 4K, and now I'm scared. I'm very scared as to what that says, what that is. We will have to look at that later. Okay, what do we got? We're playing this price. Right? What are we doing?
Yeah, we're playing this price.
Mamie twinning buffer drive. Okay.
I feel like buffer drive can also be a play in against Ayuko, but maybe not.
Yeah, we only got one, so this is good. Now we have this set up. I think oh man, we don't have money. This sucks. Okay, we're playing biobands to run R&D. Unless we want to like.
Wait, why are we playing biobands? We don't have money. Biobands doesn't give us money.
We're gonna like draw 2 cards and install this paladin. And maybe that's okay.
Sure. Okay. If you'd like.
Unless we want to run server 1. This is the problem with biobands. Is like, I feel like just running somewhere and placing money on it to trash is like not the play when you don't know what the card is.
I agree.
Wait, I mean, we could just draw. You want to? We're gonna play the steel skin.
Yes, maybe. You can decide what we're doing.
We're playing the steel skin. Oh gosh. And then we're gonna play this price and install this paladin. Brandon's gonna tell me not to play the price because we might price a steel skin.
I would not play the price because we might price the steel skin.
Okay, so we're gonna install paladin and take a collar. Oh no.
Yeah.
Somebody send help. He already posted that clip in Snare Bears.
The clip
Uh-oh.
itself
I've
is
opened it.
captioned, like, what was it? World champ calls out second place loser. So take of that as you will.
Say again?
World champ calls out second place loser.
And what did I do?
I don't know.
Oh
I
no.
haven't been watching it because
Oh
I'm here
no.
with you.
Okay. Install 2 cards. Take a
I'm
credit. It was a spin doctor. Man, good thing we didn't buy advance that. Alright.
Yeah.
Time to price my strike funds and my steel skin. Nope.
Oh boy.
Hey, a Keiko.
Okay.
Wait, oh, this is my buffer drive trigger. I was like, why are these cards showing up? Okay, so we want
Raindrops back?
or the Biobands. I guess Raindrops. Raindrops is always like the best card, I feel, in Rio decks.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna bottom the Raindrops, we're gonna install the Keiko, that's gonna gain us $1.
Yeah.
And now what? Now we continue ignoring the board because we wait for the corp to show us what they're doing. And we just keep our hand full.
Okay.
We can throw that on HQ if we want.
Sure. Do you install Taka? Are we close enough to running though installing a Taka?
No.
No. Okay, that sounds like
Okay, Botchless HQ
the
seems
answer to me.
fine.
What?
Botchless HQ seems fine. It seems bad, actually, but like, there's not much else we're doing with this hand.
You could install Cacophony, I guess. Seems expensive though.
Jeez. And then what are we doing next turn? We're just like clicking for credit. We're gonna buy a band something after clicking for 2? That's awful.
I don't know.
Sabotage seems bad. Oh my goodness. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm just clicking. We're gonna take a credit. We're gonna take a credit, and we're throwing out this taco.
Okay. AFO is pretty much PE, and I feel like we've established that when we play PE, I like make you make the decisions. You know?
Ranji says sabotage feeds Ayuko seems great. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I also don't want to like. I'm just giving them another opportunity to be like, haha, I dumped my Fuji.
Yeah.
When does this trigger?
Okay.
Yeah, when my action phase ends. That's like the worst time to let them trash a card from HQ for the purposes of Fuji Regenesis. Okay, are we going to randomly check some of this stuff?
I don't know.
I feel like we do. Alright, you gotta tell me server 2, 3, 4, or 5. And it's probably one of the newer ones. Server 4. We have cards in our hand that I don't want. Is it a bite? Oh. Nice.
Oh, it's just...
Okay, so now okay, so here's our buy advance value, right? So we go no trash.
Yeah.
We go no trash, run back.
Are we trashing only the Bloodwood?
No, we're trashing them both.
Okay. What? Then you want to run back to the hostel first, right? Because then you can actually use the $4.
Well, we're gonna run them both. I think we buy advance both of them.
Yeah, but like you might lose the second advance.
Right. So I'm gonna go no action, and then we're gonna bans server 5. Right. Yeah, we might lose the second ban, so we want to spend the full $4 on the first run, and then we're gonna draw 2 cards.
Yes. We're gonna draw 2 cards first.
And then we're gonna trash, and then we're gonna keep the other bans. Nice. Yes. We want the fermenter, I guess.
Fermenter back for sure.
And then we're gonna ban the other card.
Yeah.
To draw another 2 cards. And place another $4, and then we're gonna install this fencer.
And then install the Tensor,
And then
yes.
we're gonna get a Keiko credit. We're so good at this game.
Uh,
Beautiful. We're doing really well, and all we've done is played 2 buy-bans. And our ID has done us nothing. I've played Rio twice or once. I think Rio was like the first ID, like the first game I played with the new set, because it was just like sitting at the release event in Norwich, and we like, yeah, somebody was like, all right, here's a Rio deck. And then I like played against, I feel like it was Bangun, and I think I like won the game without triggering Rio. Like I think I triggered it once, and I didn't really use the ID. I feel like I'm pretty sure somebody else piloting this deck would have ran HQ by now.
I agree. But it's okay.
It is okay. All right, what are we doing? We gotta spend our paladin money.
I don't know. Yeah.
Ooh, that seems like a way to do it. Sure. What could go wrong?
Oh,
Wow.
look at that.
Okay, so we're gonna trigger this. Trigger this. Keiko, Steelskin, Strike
Install
Fund,
Unity. Right. Oh, well, you're putting Steel Skin or Strike Fund back, and then you're installing Unity.
Right. So we're going to put the Steel Skin back, and then install the Unity. And now we've drawn.
Which doesn't fix how, like, we got to do the thing.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're botulusing on HQ, or we could just install this banner.
No, that doesn't fix the paladin problem still.
What?
Wait, paladin can't install Banker, can we?
Banner.
Can it? Banner, okay.
I'm playing so slow.
Just pick a card.
Alright, we're going to install this banner. And then we're going to install the Bankar, or are we just going to take $1? We're going to take $1.
We take $1.
That's right.
Methea says this is the most pogged I've ever seen someone but Keiko credit.
Oh, it's like, that was great. That was so good.
That was so good.
Dude, Keiko Dollar is very, very good. We got another Spin Doctor. That was the new card installed. So we still have these cards in Server 2 and Server 3, and it's not a Cohort and it's not a Bladderwort. So we just got to keep track of them.
One of them is Genesis.
Exactly. Although I don't think so, because they've had... Well, I mean, if one of them is Regenesis, now is the time.
Exactly.
But we might as well run it, because we have Fencer, right?
Yeah.
So let's just
Can we do a fight? Yeah.
Let's just run now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like do we care about the Spin Doctor?
I don't know, do we?
Sure. Let's run the Spin Doctor. We could run Archives.
Yeah.
Okay, let's run Archives.
We could run Archives.
They did discard. There should be an agenda in here. So we'll just force the spin, and then we're gonna run Server 2, maybe run Server 3. There's a Reaper function. Right,
Oh.
Yeah, the Reaper function's a card that we do want to fish for. So and also there's cards in our hand that we don't care about. Nice. So we can trash this, get our Keiko Fencer money, and then just draw a card and install a Simulchip.
And then install a Simulchip. Beautiful.
Install Bankar so that we can install Simulchip next turn for Paladin and Keiko.
Sure, sure. Yeah. We're very value code. I don't know if
it's very important.
If you noticed.
There's an argument for using the Rio ability, especially towards later game. Yeah. Definitely. We'll just control the board. Even though this deck is probably not supposed to do that. Ooh, a piece of ice. Oh no. Oh no!
Oh.
That seems
Okay.
very okay. Alright, so we're gonna like put this Bankar on HQ. Not that we plan to run. But if we do, that's where we're going. And then what? And then we draw and install this and do nothing so we can play this gamble later.
Okay, is it a Fuji in Archives?
Oh. You are very smart. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, okay, let's just run HQ. Right? Run HQ, run the
Okay.
remote.
Sure.
Because, like,
I don't.
what can go wrong?
I do not know what to do about this.
Nah,
but
nothing can go
is
wrong.
it a Fuji in Archives? Like it could be two anemones. Oh, diviner.
Nice.
Okay.
Boom.
We can let that fire. Can we?
And then
Yeah.
we can do a Rio trigger. Sure. We probably shouldn't bomb that, but whatever. Oh. Sure. I don't care, I think.
I don't think I do either.
So one line is we could trash the front company and then run archives.
That's correct.
You want to do that instead of running the remote?
I think I would. Because the really the threat is fun car. Oh, I guess like cohorts we might trash, but like can we get through?
We can break everything but a sentry.
Yeah. Or like do we want to run through? I don't know, slice and ten would be the worst that could happen.
That's right. Yeah, let's just like deal with the front company and run archives. I like that. Okay.
Blood and water. That's a card.
Sure. And then we lose our Bankar.
And yeah. That sounds fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I think we have like 3 Bankars, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's not a cohort. Ranji says breaking sentry is probably not important versus a Yuko. Exactly. Look, Anemone does 2 damage, and then it has a sub that does 1. So just take damage. It's fine. I guess we need to like we could botulus this diviner. Or wait.
I guess you probably should have kept the.
That's an odd number. These are all
Like it doesn't.
The Bankar is really good.
Yeah.
But like
Maybe
the other cards on our board.
But like we're playing this very control because you can take you can take the control deck away from William, but you can't take the William out of playing control.
Install new card, discard card. The thing is, if this was, I guess it could still be Regenesis, right? Because they could have just like discard. Because we don't know if they pitched Hansei to Rio or the Blood in the Water. Oh, we could just botulus it and run. That seems good. That just seems good.
Yeah.
So let's draw first. Nice. Oh, here.
By it, we mean the that card.
And then we go with raindrops or no raindrops?
Raindrops, I think.
Okay.
Because we want to minimize like events anyways, if it's a thingy.
Sure.
A size and 10. I know my card names.
But also like diviner, we're never gonna like raindrops into this diviner until we find a Bankar, so it's fine. It's a moon pool.
That popping?
Reveal Sting and Fuji from archives. Oh, and they didn't. So that was just straight from the AUCO and the discard. And now there's 2 advancement counters in server 8. Now this has to be an advanceable. Oh, it doesn't have to be an advanceable card. Okay. I think we don't care. And I just like draw a card and we chill. And we're gonna run this next turn.
I think so. It could be an idiosyncrasis, I guess, but like we can deal with that maybe.
Yeah. We have a Carmen. Carmen's good.
Carmen is good against.
But I think we don't care. Like what is being advanced over there? Right? Oh.
Something enough.
I think I still don't care.
Still don't care?
Sorry, y'all, I'm getting a call.
Oh, we do have a full fencer.
Okay, I'm getting a call. Fi, you're gonna have to talk for a second, because I'll be gone.
Okay. Go chat.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm back. Okay.
Oh, they said Miete says measured as an influence, so that's just Makoda. So it can't be Holloman. Is that true?
I don't follow. Measured as influence.
Yeah, like there's enough slots like that should be. So they're playing the hostile architecture is 6.
Yeah.
So they've got 6 influence left, right?
I think we're just like, oh, but I've got 3 on this fencer.
Yeah, that's the very tempting part of this.
No, we just then I want to just YOLO in there.
Yeah, I know, but like fencer makes you lose a buck.
We should get our karma.
Play the gamble. Like do the thing.
Play the gamble. I want like run archives, install Carmen.
Yeah.
We could also run HQ, but archives is fine. Sure, we might lose the.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
This is fine.
Because a Sting can like do the Carmen, but it's got buffer drive.
Okay, so no. I think we install the simulchip. We leave the Carmen in the bin.
Oh yeah, but what are we getting? What are we? What's it called? Well, what are we trashing for the simulchip?
The Botulus. Oh my god, and now the Paladin is gonna die. Awkward. Very awkward. Very, very awkward. Man, what have I done? I should have just installed the Carmen. Simulchip? I'm still not scared of this. Like, I think we just like there's no program, right? Like we're just like yeah, we just have to install this. And then gosh, Paladin. Have to keep the stuff around. I have to keep the fencer around. We could just like if I trash the Botulus, we can't trash this because my turn is ending. So I don't think there's a window for me to trash and then simulchip. So like
you can just trash a Paladin and then just reinstall with the Paladin. Oh. Like, we don't?
Sure. Yeah, we don't need the Paladin. Fine. Yeah, I can subscribe to that. We don't need this paladin. We have stuff. I'm playing so slow. Simply install the second
Okay, I
paladin.
have to go soon.
Okay. Wentagon says paid ability window exists. Yeah, I can see that. We can paladin the Botulus and then simulchip. Which would just mean that we're not spending paladin credits, but we're just getting the thing out there. Aren't out here saying I can't juggle 2 companions. There is, it's the lat window. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, draw, server 8, ice archives. Okay, don't care, right? We're just gonna keep feeding this fencer. So continue to chill. Ooh. So we just draw 2 cards, play 2 cards. Seems fine. Oh, and this paladin's free, so we just install this paladin and install the Bankar, or we could play the gamble. I think we just install the Bankar. Because then next turn we're gonna take a damage, go through the diviner, and then Rio is now online. So this seems fine. I think
we'll lose $1 from the. We'd lose $1 from the fencer, right? And so we'll have to take apart next round.
I don't think we need to play this gamble.
To play the gamble? Okay.
Because we can just run HQ here, take a damage. I think I still don't care about server 9, I think. Right? I feel like it is.
I mean, it's still the whole Genesis thing, right? That's always a threat.
Yeah, and that gets them to 4 points.
So, it depends how much you want to respect your Genesis.
I want to run HQ and play a gamble. So, and I feel like we've been doing nothing
and
enough.
Do that.
Yeah, we've been doing nothing enough that they think we're going to run this remote, so we're just not going to run it. And we can trash with the fencer. We're going to gain a credit off the Rio. And then play a gamble. If we don't gain a credit off the Keiko. Okay.
Ooh.
So now we go draw, gamble, chill.
Sure.
And keep paying. Is there a Regenesis coming out? Oh, there it is. There it is. That's unfortunate. Could have gone after that. Could have ran archives too. This is okay. Let's bank our HQ. And then we just keep going, and these companions are just
I think we just keep running HQ, yeah.
These companions are just
Well, you can install the fermenter.
No, I don't think we need it. It's good against
Oh, well, we can't anymore, I guess.
It's good against the measured response, which we could trash here. We'll take that.
Oh.
And then we just draw 2 cards and play a gamble. Gosh.
I mean, we could run HQ and oh.
That's good. Sure.
Do you want to put that down? Yeah.
It's free. We like free.
Exactly. Is Server 8 just an agenda that now they're gonna win the game with?
It's just a Fuji. It's just a Fuji in server 8. And they just advance it 3 times and scored a 7.
Yeah. exactly.
Oh no.
Okay, now do you want to run archives?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah, just bank archives and run it.
Bank our archives and run it?
Yeah, because like,
Right. Okay. And there's no... I feel like we lose to, like, Moon Pool. We also have to check a card on the board. I mean, we might as well just check all of these cards.
okay,
But I guess we start with archives. No, we start with server 9, because they can Rio something into archives.
sure.
Which means we should have just banked our server 9. Oh. There's Anemone. Bottom of Strike Fund. We have to simulchip this Carmen. And then pay 1 to break it. And then we're going to access. Don't think we die. We have 3 cards in hand. But if we take damage, life is going to get a little awkward.
Oh boy.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, okay.
I just let them have this.
I think you have let them have this too. You probably want to put down your
And then I like
code for
install Nuka, click
Do you run
Nuka,
archives?
run archives.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Okay. Yeah, this seems fine. We have $1.
Yeah, run archives.
Yeah. There's no like no need now, but oh, okay. There's just points in here. Okay. GG. Oh, he left. It's okay. I think he's in the chat. Eli, sorry about we're talking a ton. How does the banner interact with Simic? Good question. I feel like there was discussion in here about it already. You decline the net, then Simic tries to ETR and fails. Okay. What was happening the whole game? I don't know. Got like, I mean, like, I don't know. There's, yeah, I don't know. We had like the whole, like, had money to deal with the stuff when we needed to. Like, this is like the swingy nature of AUCO is like, you know, if like the opening was like 2 Bladder Wards and then the 2 Bladder Wards hit the biobands, then like we would have been pretty screwed. Yeah. Alrighty. Diviner on HQ was tragic. Might have lost the game. I can see that too. Yeah. Yeah, Diviner on HQ. Just being the 1 nat damage with the Bankar. Okay. I think I gotta go as well. I think Fa has to go. We both got dinner. Because it's almost 7 o'clock. So we do gotta run. That's okay. Yes. Charlie and I considered co-piloting, but that would have made it too slow. Made their double bias start plus me misplaying all over the place is what happened. Yeah. The bio was like, I don't know. Like I had the money. Like I don't remember. Like I don't think I did very much on the first turn either. But like I mean that's the thing is like we both kind of like traded at turn 1, and then really like the game started with like turn 2 and 3 where like the cards came down and then it's like do I have the cards to trash. Okay, so yeah, only have time for the one game today. I'll as I said, like I'm starting um my professional legal training tomorrow. So which is like an online course. I'm not sure how much time I'll have, but I think like I should have time. And I'm like hoping to like play a lot of games, just like get myself used to like the new cards and the decks that are in the format. Because as y'all can probably tell through most of this stream, I am not used to most of the cards and the decks that are out there, even though the set's been out for almost a month. So I do want to jam more, and I'll probably do as much as I can on stream. Um, I also announced at the start that I'm starting to coach. So if y'all are interested in like one-on-one coaching, message me on Discord. My Discord handle is Saka234, same as my YouTube username. So yeah, send me a message. We can like figure out how like whether that's something that you'd like to do, and just like we can kind of just like talk about like what that looks like. But basically, if like anybody, if you're interested in just like improving and getting better, and like ideally you're like not just beginning, because if you're just beginning, like there's probably better, like more efficient ways of improving than like having one-on-one sessions with me. Like I know that, yeah, like there's just like playing on just like jamming a bunch of games and getting used to the cards and understanding like the cards that are out there and like getting a grasp of the card pool is like a very important first step. And then yeah, if you're like looking to get better past that, then I think like having one-on-one coaching is like really useful. So if that's something you're interested in, send me a message. And if you're interested in having that being recorded and then posted on my YouTube, I think that's something that a lot of people would appreciate as well. Yeah. Are you are you already gone?
Yeah, I gotta head out.
Okay. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. Goodbye. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all. That's all for me as well. I'll try to stream a little more over the next 2 months. And yeah, so keep an eye on my YouTube. I'll try to schedule stuff. Just y'all can watch me do my learning how the cards work situation with all the new cards that have come out. I'm playing the async game with Jai tomorrow, so I'll probably stream that actually. So you're gonna hear from me tomorrow at about the same time. You'll just like watch me play 2 games against Jai. I haven't decided what decks I'll play. I'll figure it out. If you have if you have comments on that, let me know. But I'll probably like just like pick 2 decks that I kind of know and understand, just so that we don't have to play. You have to sit through like very long thinking with like a weird Rio deck that I'm not used to, like we just did. Okay, y'all. Thanks for hanging out, and